What the heck? Hello, everybody. One Piece Nation here today to bring you a One Piece discussion video. Well, so yeah, I figured we could start off just by talking about what everybody wants to talk about, which is, let's be honest, the One Piece chapter. I mean, let's be honest, that's what everybody wants to talk about. We want to talk about the One Piece chapter. So, what I was thinking was, even though we've all already read it, why don't we do a live reading of the one? Why don't we just add it just all together for fun? Read the One Piece chapter. I thought that'd be. I think it's a pretty fun idea if you ask me. I personally think it's a really fun idea. But yeah. No, we're not. So I'm probably gonna read the chapter. Let me go One Piece heart, and the part I'm going to read. Oh yeah. Personally, I don't think Pirate Warrior 3 is boring. And you ask me, in my personal opinion, I don't think it is. But wait, why am I reading comments off of AA? Okay, screw AA. Let's talk about this here. Okay, so what I think we could do is we could examine. I've been hearing different things. Some people have been telling me that Luffy hit Fujitora. But then I'm having other sources tell me, and other people say to me that he didn't hit Fujitora, and there was not an Armin Haki punch. So I figured, let's find out. Okay. First, we need to really zoom in. Yeah. So people are right about what. The reason it's hard to tell is because that black could be Luffy's fist. The black could be very well be Luffy's fist. But if you really look, I guess you could say that Fujitora is blocking it. Anyway, there's another panel here. Let's see if it, Nah, that's actually a terrible strategy, that. But, yeah. So, what I'm trying to say is, did you guys think Fujitora took any damage here? It's obvious he guarded the attack. That much is clear. He guarded it. That much is clear as day. No, that's not really what the question is. Is somebody watching? Hey, who's ever watching, can you, Okay, so yeah, but who's ever watching, comment a little bit. Like, that's gonna make sure the comments are working, because sometimes they really fuck up. But, yeah. Also, I just wanted to quickly, before I continue, give out an apology for the delay on the Pirate Warrior content. I'm starting to get a gist of how I'm going to be able to upload it. It's just my computer is having trouble handling both. So, yeah. But who really cares about that? Let's look at this. So, let's be honest here. This is not Luffy's best decision in life. Let's be honest. This is pretty damn stupid. This whole plan of Luffy, this is really freaking retarded. Let's be honest. I'm trying to figure out what Oda going to do next chapter because I don't want Luffy to be Admiral level. I have a strange feeling that's what he's going for. I hope not because it just actually that will depend on the video that will come out later this week. I have a ton of video coming out this week, and you know what? I'm just gonna tell you what they are now. Because you're not gonna know what's in them. But one of them will be how strong is Dabo, how strong is Doflamingo. A lot of power scaling videos this week actually. There's another video coming out on who is stronger, Trafalgar Law, Monkey D. Luffy, or Useless Captain Kidd. And then that's really all I can think of off the top of my head. I also have a Naruto discussion coming out, but this is One Piece, so let's stick to One Piece. But what I wanted to point out was that in the chapter, if you really look closely, the D part wasn't that good in my opinion. Like, the D part, in my opinion, isn't the biggest deal because everything he said about the D, we kind of knew. Like, Sengoku said things like, the D always causes trouble. I'm like, yeah, you're right. But did one of Bagora already say that? Something on the line of, like, something like, the D are always causing trouble? Hold on, actually, I invited the people to the stream and I'm getting responses. I asked the people if they wanted to join. Thank you. So, yeah, but, this guy was just giving me some tips on people I could, talk to and reach out to. Because I want to try to get some more people in these streams. But, on that thing, I just wanted to ask where is it? I had this hilarious picture just a moment ago. Oh no, it was on my phone. What I'll do is I have it on my phone, I'll email it to myself, and then I'll send you guys. It's in One Piece. But, what I was thinking, what it would be awesome. Honestly, wait, not on my. Screw, I don't know where it is. No, honestly, no, I sent it to a friend, actually. But, uh, I think I may get a guy in here, but just so you guys know, he's not a YouTuber. So, he may be a little, like, freaked out, I guess, by being on camera. I don't know. But, the point is that the overall plan that I think Oda going with is probably something like Luffy will fight Fujitora for all that those chapters. I think the Fujitora will go ham on each other, like fight each other, and after him and Fujitora are done fighting each other, it'll probably end on chapter 799, and or either end in chapter 799. Actually, no, wait, it has to end in chapter 799. But, it's not really something to look forward to because Luffy's Luffy. Like, it may not go over very well. Like, I just don't see in reality how Luffy can make a difference. Like, how this can make a difference in the story because it isn't going to make a difference. It just all it is Luffy and Fujitora fighting. Yeah. So that's the guy that I'm going to totally invite to this. Give me a second. And then you go. But the point is that if Luffy were to fight Fujitora now, it wouldn't make an overall difference in the story because Luffy is so much weaker than Fujitora. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe like later on when he's like around close to Yonko level, it would make more sense, or at least close to Admiral level, because Luffy just not Admiral level. The Doflamingo. Hold on, hold on. Yeah, but sorry, the guy. But the problem is that there isn't much Luffy can do in terms of overall power against Fujitora. So what I'm thinking Luffy going to end up doing is just fighting him for most of 799, and then he'll Law will use Room and then use Shambles, and then you get him onto the ship, and then damn, you see, this is why Oda's amazing. Because I was thinking of ways they could get out of there, and I was like, Law could just get him on the Sunny, and they could use Cootie Burst. And then I'm like, wait, shit! And then it occurred to me, I'm like, wait, shit, they don't have the Sunny. So I'm trying to say out, if you remember, the reason they gave Garp in Water's Nevin was the Cootie Burst. Not having that is a major thing. It's like, let's be honest, escaping Marineford would have been easy with Cootie Burst. It would have been a lot easier, but they could have just used 10 of them and escaped. But obviously the Straw Hats weren't together at the time. But one of the problems I see coming into the series is that I can't tell if Oda is trying to speed up the series or not. It appears he's trying to speed it up a little bit because Luffy, with taking on Doflamingo, is still injured from his fight with Doflamingo. And it amazes me that he thinks of taking on an admiral. It's not smart. But so what I'm starting to think will happen is that Oda may be planning something for 800. I've heard a theory. I've heard this. The community has been tossing up the idea around that in One Piece chapter 800 will be Big Mom's Tea Party. And you remember, Big Mom had a box, right? That box from Fifth Man Island that was sent to Big Mom as a gift to make her back off. That is gone. That's gonna blow up. And Big Mom is going to be furious. Big Mom is going to be so pissed off when it explodes in her face. She's liable to rape somebody, which is terrifying. To show you a graph of how terrifying the idea of that and Big Mom together is, look at this meme. I take no credit for this, but just look at it. Big Mom is so fat that Gold Roger lost around her once and became the Fire King. In other words, walking around Big Mom is just as challenging as finding the One Piece. I personally find that hilarious. Oh, TLK Gaming, One Piece is 70% done. You have to remember that was said by an editor. You have to remember, man, that was said by an editor. And an old editor, not a current editor, an older editor. Just try to remember that. So I so I don't see how it could be 70% done unless maybe like half an arc is 1% maybe. Because they're let's go over the things we need to cover in One Piece. Okay, TK, TLK Gaming. First, we need to cover Gold Roger backstory. That's one of the things. We need to cover all about the Revolutionary Army and Dragon. We need to honestly get to Raftel. We need to bring down Kaido, cover the defeat the Big Mom, Shanks. Well, Luffy needs to fight the Straw Hats, need to fight the Blackbeard Pirates. There are so many things in One Piece that need to happen. Alright? And this is just an example of one of those many things. I don't see realistically how Oda can be 70% done. Maybe 50, maybe like, if I had to gauge One Piece, so according to my memory, after Marineford, right, after the War of the Best, Oda said One Piece was halfway done, but then last summer, which would have been, 4 years after Marineford, he came, and I think last summer it had been 4 years since the time skip. So last summer he came out and said another 10 years of One Piece. So like 2024, One Piece will be over. Like, it all depends on the arc. Like, look at Dressrosa. Oda likes to. That would probably when Oda said it was like this percent complete. He probably meant the main story, but I don't think he there's this much of the main story complete. But when you think about, look at Dressrosa, look at all the useless shit Oda added in. Look at the Tontadas. The Tontadas were not necessary. They weren't necessary to the plot. They were, in fact, most people think they were shit. And I have to agree, but Tontadas are really annoying and they're shit. Rebecca, why was she even there? Really, I actually had an argument. I used to know a guy. I know him. I met him on Xbox Live. Me and him used. He used to say Sakura was the most useless anime character of all time. He had not caught up to One Piece yet, and I told him, no, she isn't. There was a One Piece character more useless than Sakura, by far, by heaps and bounds, just more annoying and more useless. And he got to Dressrosa, and you know what he said? He told me, you were right. And want to know why? And want to know how? And want to know why? Want to know why Sakura is not as useless as Rebecca? Because Sakura can throw a punch. Having a female gladiator. This idea was so good. A female gladiator. I was rooting for it at first. I was like, yeah, Rebecca for Straw Hat, hands down. That's a great idea, right? But then you see her progress. And you're just like, this girl's a complete bitch. She cried. I mean, say Sakura from Naruto example. Sakura cries a lot. She doesn't fight. She's weak in comparison to Naruto and Sasuke. But will she hit somebody? But let's take the complaint most fans say that her hitting Naruto a lot. Guess what? At least she'll hit him. At least she understands common sense, which is I'm a fighter. My job requires fighting. I can't not hurt people. Like, I'm going to hurt people. I'm going to kill people. Like you're a fucking gladiator, Rebecca. You're a fucking gladiator. You're like, how can you not kill something when you're a gladiator? Please explain that to me. But it just doesn't make sense to me. There are so many problems in One Piece. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I really don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But do I think Gold Roger is still alive? No. I've heard the theory. I have heard some theories about it. But like when people take the example of what Roger said to Rayleigh, their example. I know what you're talking about with like that, like when he said, "I'm not going to die, partner." I get how the whole theory is based off of that, but what the way I interpret it, that, and the way I understand that, it's based off of a couple of things. One, if you look at the thing when Whitebeard and Roger were talking before, when Whitebeard were talking about the Willow D and stuff before, in Whitebeard's flashback during Marineford, you see that Whitebeard and Roger were in a field of cherry blossom. And what were Dr. Clover's last words? A man only died when he had forgotten. I think what Roger meant by that was, he already planned. He planned. He went and got roots. I think I'm going to do a video on that, but so what Roger pretty much told Rayleigh, "I will not die," and what he meant by that was he wouldn't be forgotten, because he planned on his last word being at that execution platform. He planned on sparking the Great Pirate Era. So by sparking it, 20 years later, his name will still send fear down people's spine. People still get furious when they think of him. Like Whitebeard. Whitebeard, in my opinion, I actually have a video planned this week in more in depth on this, but I don't think he was the strongest man alive. I don't think he was. I don't think he was. I feel like he was after Roger's death, and the reason he kept the title would be because people were so afraid of the idea of the man of this man that could fight Gold Roger and survive. That's why Drog World is bullshit. Because Luffy wouldn't be beating people like Shiki, because that's the equivalent to beating like Whitebeard. But so I don't think he's alive. I think it's the common theory. Well, I believe what most people think, that Luffy had inherited Roger's will, and Roger is like, so Roger kind of lives on in Luffy. But I also think that Oda had clear differences between their characters. Like, Roger seemed to have done a lot more adventuring before sending. He said, "Our final voyage." That's what Rayleigh said, indicating to them being on more than one journey. The Straw Hats, it kind of looks like they're on a one-way. They're going to Rastel and they're leaving. And the Straw Hats are going to Rastel and they're leaving. And there are so many similarities between Luffy and Roger, but there are also small differences. Like, episode chapter 0 and episode 0, those took like what, two? It was either a year or 2 years before Roger conquered the Grand Line. I know that, but I know I'm terrible. I should know that, but no. My point is that there are many similarities and many differences. I believe the similarities are indications to Luffy inheriting Roger's will, and I believe the differences are a sign that they're different people. Like, a great example of that is like I personally like if Luffy has a child, I don't think Luffy will probably have a child. I don't think he will. Would I like it if Luffy had a child with a certain character with some woman? Yeah, I believe that woman should be Nami. That's my own opinion. Feel free to disagree. I mean that's it. That doesn't my opinion. That doesn't really matter. It's One Piece. There's not going to be any romance. Who cares? If I'm just saying if I had to pick between Nami and Hancock, who I enjoy the character more, I pick Nami. But like, I don't see Luffy getting not getting married. But I don't think Roger was married. He was the Pirate King. But I don't see him like finding a lover. I just don't see Luffy doing that. Like, I see that to be a difference between Roger and Luffy. And if the chance, so I did, but they're so different but so similar. I believe that's part of the will of D. Like, you inherit somebody's will. So you inherit like certain traits from them, like as if they were your parents. You inherit their dream. You inherit some of their ambition, their drive, but you're not like them. Like, this isn't on some Naruto shit when you're just like when it's about Naruto inheriting Indra's power and Naruto pretty much becomes Indra. He says he isn't Indra, but he kind of is. Like, it isn't on some Naruto shit. And you know what I'm saying. I don't see that happening. I don't think it would make logical sense in the story as a whole to go in that direction. So I think it'd make more sense. Although, we also saw Roger die. Like, I understand, that this was like early One Piece. But Oda isn't an idiot. Oda knew how powerful he wanted his character to eventually be. It's kind of like one of those things where I assume he knew. I don't think he knew what the ability and power would be. Like, I don't think he had the elephant gun in his head. But I feel like he knew the idea that he wanted Luffy to be able to fight a guy. He wanted to have meteor falling from the sky by the time skip. Like, he wanted that kind of power in his theory. So I do know how the theory goes, but clone fruit, Bon Clay, Devil fruit, all this stupid stuff. One, if anything that was said about Roger was true, he would never let one of his friends do that for him. Did you remember when Garp was talking? He did say that Roger once started a war. Oh wait, yeah. Well, I thought I talked about that. This is a great question, TLK. And you made the One Piece universe go against the Naruto universe with all the main characters against each other in their strongest forms who would win. I may get that. Wait, but all characters? Did you mean all end of series living characters? And all non-living characters? That's two completely different things. So to start right, I'll talk about it 2 times. The first time I talked about it, which is right now, I'm going to have to give it to Naruto if you're only talking about living characters at the end of the series that we have knowledge on. Meaning people like Kaguya, Hagoromo don't apply. Indra and Arankina don't apply. And people like Prime Roger and Prime Whitebeard don't apply. If it's just the living characters, the Naruto universe will wreck the One Piece universe. Actually, when I really think about it, either way, they're going to dominate that fight. Naruto characters are in a whole nother league. People don't seem to understand that. Oh, so all dead and living, yeah. So you would all just do that, but people don't seem to realize how outclassed the One Piece characters are compared to like Naruto characters. Naruto was able to block an attack that would cut the moon in half. Meaning Naruto's durability and at least his guarding ability is able to guard a moon busting, a moon destroying level attack. Luffy cannot even guard steady leveling attacks. Like, Naruto can destroy mountains by blowing them up with a bomb. Luffy has to punch them. It's just the way the world, the mechanics work. It's just Naruto characters at the end of the series. I may get the Matrix at the end of the series. I think Luffy would probably have a hard time winning the series Sakura. To be completely honest, I think out of all the people on Team Seven that we, all the people on, if I had to pick on Team Seven, I would take Sakura, but only when he had the chance to beat it. Really, I don't think I don't think he could take Kakashi as long as Kakashi had his Sharingan. When Zoro's eyes became red, it did tell me I did think it was a Sharingan. No, I never thought it was a Sharingan because I knew it was a different theory. But I have actually, you know what? I have seen pictures of it, and it actually is very funny to look at. Zoro, and I'll show you a picture right now. Zoro. And hold on a minute. And you don't mind, I'm going to admit that I do not know how to spell Sharingan. I know I should be embarrassed, but I do not. I'm not Japanese, so I'm not going to like copy your spelling of it. But again, the only time I ever thought I saw Zoro using the Sharingan was when I saw this picture. Just let me. If I don't look at your comment, it's because I'm screen sharing. It was only when I saw this picture. Present to everybody. It should pop up in a second, but it was only when I saw this picture of Zoro with his because this stance he has with his eye kind of looks like a Kamui stance, and the way he's throwing his eye forward, I thought he was doing a Kamui. Even though I know that wasn't what he was doing. But I actually do have a theory video on Zoro's eye. That you want to watch it after the stream, you can. But yeah. But I think I'm probably gonna end the stream at like 10, 10:15, 10:30. Who knows when I'll end it, but you know, I thought I'd tell you that, but something I do want to bring up is that something I've at least something I've noticed. Recently in the One Piece fandom is a lot of people seem to be jumping to the conclusion a lot, and it's starting to really piss me off. Like when Gear Force came out, I am kind of concerned that the One Piece fandom is gonna have people saying Luffy at Admiral level because he punched Fujitora. There are people like that. Like, and you know if anime fan talk, you probably after if you're a One Piece fan on like One Piece YouTube videos, you probably heard of this anyway. His infamous Sabo and Yonko level video. Which, by the way, you know, I'm not gonna hate on anime fan talk. I'm just gonna say I don't agree with the content of the video. I'm not going to hate on him. That would. Sorry, I was looking at some of the Zoro pictures, and I was reading what Naruto said in like the chapter when Sakura unlocked that seal quickly. It popped up, and the guy edited to say the guy like edited and took out the nether, so it was like I'll turn on Sakura again. Yep, he edited to be like I'll turn on Sakura again. She'll pulverize me, and like you know, kind of implying like turn her on. And I was just like, oh my god, who the hell came up with this shit? But whatever. But the point that I'm trying to make right now is that there are a lot of incredibly powerful. I'm trying to think how this would work. What I'm trying to personally think of, like, what's gonna happen next week in terms of Luffy's power. Actually, no, power. This is a great thing to talk about. I'm going to quickly talk about Law, Zoro, and Luffy. I've heard people saying that together, Law, Zoro, and Luffy could beat Fujitora. And I'm gonna have to say, I said it in my review, but I'll talk about it more in depth in this. I disagree completely. The Law would never beat Fujitora in a fight, even with the help of Luffy and Zoro. Because one, you have to remember, Luffy and Law are injured. Zoro would be the only one that can go 100%. But only, I think if Luffy had mastery of Gear Force, then maybe the three of them could pull it off. But in one of those situations where I think if Fujitora, held back a little bit, he would probably lose. But in One Piece, holding back a little bit can mean everything. I look at that fight between Usopp and Luffy. Luffy was holding back the entire fight. And look at that. The second he stopped holding back, Usopp was lying on the floor in agony. But even though Luffy wasn't holding back a lot, he just wasn't hitting him. The point is that it just doesn't make sense to me why people would think Luffy, Law, and Zoro could win. Because you have to remember, this isn't a 100% Luffy or 100% Law. Gear Force, Luffy versus Fujitora, that's not happening. I hope it's not. I was thinking earlier today, and it did cross my mind. One thing did cross my mind. Alright, one thing did cross my mind. Two things, actually, but I'm saving the other one for a video later. But one of the things that crossed my mind was the possibility of a Monkey D. Oh, damn it. I'll tell you, I'll discuss more in depth in the video later, but I think there's a possibility maybe Dragon will show up and save Luffy from Fujitora. Dragon could show up and save him. Or, I don't know what I want more. This is tough. There's that part of me that think, I kind of wanted both. Because, I want to see Dragon more than anything. Obviously, who doesn't want to see Dragon? He's Monkey D. Dragon. But I feel like the most likely situation is if Luffy is actually going to fight Fujitora, it would probably be a Gear 5th situation. Let's compare the situation of Luffy versus Blue Note and Luffy versus Rob Lucci. Then, there's a ton of referencing with the chapter numbers and shit. But so Luffy went Gear second against Blue Note for the first time. And he went all out in that fight. I believe he went all out. I believe he was giving it all, and it all was too much for a Blue Note. That's how I believe that worked. But if you remember, he was ready. He underestimated himself. He was like, I guess that's not gonna work. Gear stuck. And Blue Note fell over. But what I believe is, I believe Fujitora may be the opponent that makes Luffy try out his Gear 5th. There, you have made my day. I have to disagree with that, actually. I have to disagree with that for a couple of reasons. One, Dragon is fighting for a cause. Okay, in the One Big World, the government is really fucked up. That is undeniable, right? Dragon is fighting for something he believes in. Sasuke just traveling. Sasuke doesn't need to travel as much as he does. Sasuke, in Naruto universe, you have to remember, they have iPhones now. He can FaceTime Sarada and Sakura. He can call them on his cell phone, but he never charges it. It's one of those things where it's just Dragon's not the greatest guy. Dragon may not be the greatest guy, but the difference is he's fighting for something. We don't know his reasoning, too. How do we know that his reasoning wasn't that the Celestial Dragon tried to kill Luffy when he was a baby because he figured out Luffy was a thief, and the Celestial Dragon tried to kill him, and Luffy's mom died protecting Luffy? How do we know that didn't happen? And in anger, Dragon was like, fuck the government. Fuck them. I'm destroying the government. How do we know that didn't happen? We don't. Like, who knows what happened? I wonder how long I've been streaming. Not that long. But, no, I know he's hunting down Kagura's army, but that's my point, though. Even if he's doing something for a good cause, they have phones. He can call his family. He's not a criminal. You have to remember, in One Piece, even if you're fighting for a good cause, if you're against the world government, you're a criminal. Dragon is also not just any criminal, the most wanted man in the world. So it's not like he can just call up Luffy. He can just call up Luffy or go visit Luffy every couple of months. In fact, in my opinion, by staying away from Luffy, he was being a good dad. If you look at it logically, if Dragon would to spend time with Luffy, he would become like 8. But second, if the government had learned about Luffy's heritage when he was like 8 years old, you know what the government would have done? They would have been like, but they would not have just killed Luffy. I guarantee you they would have Buster called his hometown. And they would not give a shit about the world noble. They would have Buster called that island. In fact, they probably would have given it like a super Buster call. They probably would have sent like they probably would have sent Aokiji, Kizaru, Akainu, Sengoku, everybody to that island, and the entire Navy board, and it would have just been like, kill the child. The child needs to die. Alright? Like, you cannot blame Dragon. Because Dragon's a criminal. Sasuke's a criminal. Sasuke had no excuse for not calling his family. He had no excuse. As far Oh my god, man, you just made my day. You were trolling your friend, you just started watching Naruto and Sultan Tenten and Toby. Well, dude, if you're watching the anime, I have good news for you. This week, on this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden, we will be seeing. You ready? You ready? Okay, this is really, really epic. This will blow away Naruto vs. Sasuke. Episode of Tenten. Cat with the Rinnegan, what? Yeah, but we will be getting episode of Tenten. Yeah, but I think, back to One Piece. I don't know, honestly, what Oda planned. I don't. I mean, it's just overall, I know what he's going for in One Piece. But there are certain points when it's just like, I feel like he kind of contradicts himself, and I'm like, One Piece can come off as a little sexist. There aren't too many female characters that are strong. I'm not saying Oda is sexist by any means. Because I think a lot of the female characters are very well written, but I don't think it's a coincidence that the entire monster trio is male, is what I'm saying. And Frank is arguably the 4th strongest, and he's male. But then again, Robin is not one of the weaker ones. I actually have a video I'm going to be doing later tonight on Nami and Devilfruit. But every time I try to say a Nami or a Devilfruit, there's this thing in the back of my mind. It's like, what about hot tub scenes? What about bathhouse scenes? What about the Nami swimming in the ocean and nearly butt naked scenes? Like, what about the fan service? There's that thing in my mind telling me Oda's not risking the fan service. Well, he could probably do some really kinky, weird stuff by giving Nami Monette Devilfruit. I don't see her getting Monette Devilfruit. Actually, I'm wondering, TLG Gaming. TLK Gaming, I mean. Can you tell me what you think of this? How would you feel about Nami getting Eneru Devilfruit or NL Devilfruit? I mean, because if you remember, people, I've asked a couple people, they told me it would be too overpowered. And I agree, it's way too overpowered under normal circumstances, as in if Nami had control over the Devil Fruit. However, if Nami is not the type of person to really train. She would rather, when she, yes, she did train during 2 years, because but that was an indirect order by Luffy. Luffy pretty much said, we're training for 2 years. And Nami was just like, if you, in Nami's mind, it was like, if Luffy wants me to train, I don't want to do it, but if Luffy wants me to train, I'm gonna do it. He's the captain. And I scored to obey his order. Like, Nami's like, I respect him and he's the captain. But I don't think Nami just training for the sake of training. I can see Nami doing like learning the bare basics of her Devil Fruit, and then just being like, "I'll figure it out as I fight," and then going to sit down in a chair and like tan. You know what I mean? That's the kind of thing. That's what I see Nami doing. Nami seems like a hard worker, but not somebody that would actually get up and train. Oh my god, dude, really? I wanted to hear your double fruit that's a banana. Wait, is that impossible? Are you even banana shaped devil fruit? Right, now you're making me want to Google this. Now I have to type in One Piece devil fruit. Now I'm trying to think that what color for devil fruit? Like, what color would color for devil fruit? Now I'm like, damn you. Damn you, man. This is your evil. Those are banana devil fruit. You're right. You're right about that. Cauliflower one. No, wait, not cauliflower. The giraffe fruit. The giraffe fruit that Kaku ate. You're right about that. They were that shape. But I was thinking that maybe she could get Enru's lightning fruit. But then there's that part of me that's like, but then that puts her on the same level as like, but then that I either think Nami either needs to master armament and observation hockey to an incredible degree. I think observation hockey would be her expertise, but she definitely needs to master armament hockey, or she needs a devil fruit. I'm more leaning toward the hockey side of things. My only thing is there are certain things with Nami's fighting style that I'm just like, could Nami cover her Thunderbolt tempo in armament hockey? Could she even do that? Like, it's the same kind of question as can Mihawk and Zoro like Zoro like if the same kind of question. I'm assuming she can because actually I remember that Zoro cut Monet on the cheek with a shockwave from his sword. That means with he can cut things with a shockwave. He can do that. So if I guess that you can use a shockwave from a sword to do it, but that's the thing to have physical strength. But then again, you can cover the swords in armament hockey. It's like and it's just a quick slap. But this is pure thunder. Nami would need incredible skill to do that, and I don't see Nami having that kind of skill. But I think the main question, I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep going for. I think it's been a little over an hour since I started this. When did I start this? Well, we've been going for 48 minutes. Wow. This is a hard question. Who? Ooh. Well, they both did different things. One is we didn't see more Itachi. We saw like just around the same amount, but we saw deeper into his character. But I would have to go with Ace. Because it's hard. Actually, no, it's hard because if Ace was in Itachi's shoes, I know he would have taken Sasuke with him. He would have been like, "Fuck what you want. Like you're my little brother, and I'm not leaving you alone." He would have been like, "You're coming with me." He would not have given him the choice. But who overall loved their brother more? Ooh, this is actually, you know what, dude? I'll answer it here, but I'm also since you're actually, I think there's like one other person in here besides you. who hasn't been asking questions. I'll go with Itachi, but I'm definitely making a video on that. Wow, dude, that was tough. I've never in my life, wow. But, also, yeah. But, yeah. My body getting kind of stiff, and I'm actually really hungry. So I'm gonna be ending the stream in like 10 minutes after I'm done just explaining the future of this channel and how I'm going to be handling the next week of videos. Okay, because on Tuesday, on Monday, I'm starting a new school. I have a new student orientation for that, and then I'm leaving to to go somewhere, to go to the hospital where I'm gonna be busy. Nothing serious, just tests and stuff. But so what I'm probably going to do is record a ton of videos over the next like 2 days, like tomorrow and like tomorrow during my ride in on Monday. No, I know, but I'm an the school orientation and hospital thing are on Tuesday, but the hospital thing lasts until Thursday. So what I'm probably going to do is I'll record a ton of videos in the car on Monday because my mother's driving. So I'll record them in the car, and I'll record videos in the car and a little bit tomorrow. But I have to clean up a little bit. I'm going to a new school which requires moving, so I have to clean up. But I'll make some videos tomorrow and the next day. And what I'm pretty much just going to do is put up a ton of videos on a flash drive, and then I'm just gonna upload them throughout the course of the week. Obviously, don't worry, the live reaction will still happen. I will not have my live reacting out as early as normal. It will still be pretty freaking early, like 6 in the morning, hopefully. Actually, no, it'll probably be pretty late. Who knows? But I will get it done, I promise. But yeah, it may be a little tight, but I'll definitely get it done. And who knows? The review may be super late this week, like Saturday or Sunday. I know, definitely not Sunday. No, school the next day, but probably around Saturday. But whatever. I've rambled on long enough. I've also probably spoiled like 5 of my future videos in this thing. Also, I am starving. So, I would like to thank you, mainly TLK Gaming, for stopping by. And, also, I just want to quickly say I'm going to try, even though it's school, I'm going to try to do a One Piece live stream once a week. And maybe, and I don't know if, and I'm going to try to do a general anime and manga discussion live stream once a week as well. Oh, okay. I'll answer this after. I'll answer that next. But I quickly want to say that shit. Okay, but I will. But also I'll still be doing live streams and I'll still be doing live streams and like the general discussion videos every week. Sometimes Anime Export will probably join me. I don't know, but yes. And so let's just answer your question, and then I'm going to go because I am freaking starving. Right. Well, but thing is, according to my memory in SBS, didn't Oda say all of the Disney commanders had hockey? Was he referring to 8? I'm not sure. I'm going to assume he was referring to 8 because 8 was a division commander. So, okay, so they both have hockey. But 8 didn't, I don't think 8, according to my knowledge, 8 did not have Conqueror's hockey unlocked. Yeah, but I do know he definitely had to get, also anybody a rank of the vice, I think a qualification to be a freaking vice admiral is to have hockey. But, I would still give it to 8. I think it's close. I think the gap is close. And they did look kind of even during Marine 4, but you have to remember 8 have been in shackles we never saw Ace fight at full power in a fair fight because he kind of one-shotted Smoker and Alabasta. He took out all those chips, and then he was cheated, and Slapbeard cheated like the piece of shit that he is in his fight with Ace. So, and then in Marineford, he had just gotten out of his shackles that were coated with sea stone. So he was tired. He hadn't probably. Let's be honest, they don't probably freaking feed you properly and impel down. So he hadn't probably been eating correctly. He was injured. But so let's just look at this for a minute. Ace was able to do everything he did there with even like he even have enough power to attack an admiral. Attack an admiral. And survived. I feel Ace would have survived his fight with Akainu if it wasn't for Luffy having to protect Luffy. But that's for another video, but I would give it to Ace for the simple fact that he was able to fight on par with Luffy against the Marine. He did just as well as Luffy, if not a little bit better than Luffy against the Marine soldiers after he got out. And he when he wasn't at full power. So I would have to give it to Luffy Ace. Do I think Luffy is very close? Yeah. I do believe by the end of the next arc, Luffy will be way stronger than Ace. I do believe that. And I'm not really including Gear Force because I don't know. I don't really include Gear Force too much when I talk about things, just for the sheer fact that it's Gear Force. It's like, it's the time limit, it's so small, it's like I don't really think it should be included because until Luffy gets over that time limit, it's really useless. But, whatever. Yeah, so Ace is stronger than Luffy right now, but Luffy, I would say, by the end of this year, he'll probably be stronger than Ace. Unless, of course, Oda screws up the pacing like he did in Dressrosa, and Luffy runs around, and Luffy goes to the island where Sanji is on and runs in a circle for 10 chapters. Also, just want to quickly say, Buggy for Pirate King! But, yeah, One Piece Nation signing out. Have a good day. Thank you for watching, and yeah. I bet a ton of videos over the next couple of days. Peace.